Ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, it's Scott Hammond and the 100% Humboldt podcast with my new best friend, Mark Ritz. Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you?
I am well. We were just offline talking about The Who.
Yes, we were.
You saw The Who when you had hair?
Back when I had hair, yes.
Really?
Back 1970 or so, if I remember correctly.
Wow. Where was that show?
That was in the LA area. I'm trying to remember where. I think it might have been at the Forum
Oh, wow.
in
okay.
Inglewood.
We saw them right before COVID at the Hollywood Bowl. Quite a show. Ringo's son was the drummer, and
Oh, yeah.
Townsend's brother also played guitar, I think, in the band. But really a good show.
Excellent.
Called my father-in-law, said we're coming down. He goes, I already bought tickets.
Sweet.
I go, wow, you did.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
So Mark Ritz, tell us the Mark Ritz story. What would you say the arc of your life within the next 2 hours? Go ahead.
I only have 2 hours?
No.
Oh, gosh. I'll have to compress it down. Grew up in the Los Angeles area and moved up here. I'll just cut to the chase and moved up here in 1999. I was recruited to come work at Yakima Products.
All right.
To develop new categories for them as they were positioning the company for sale. So was a category business manager for them until they left. And then after they left, or as they were leaving, my wife, Charlie, who was also at Yakima, and that's where we met, was the VP of Product Development there for 14 years.
Wow.
We wanted to stay here. We had an offer on the table from them to move to Oregon, to Beaverton, where they moved to. Chose not to. And so we were trying to figure out what we were going to do with our lives. And I had a number of contacts. I'd worked in the bicycle industry pretty much all my life.
That's right.
Retail stores, worked for some really big companies and some small startups. And then so we decided trying to figure out what to do. And so we're talking about like what are my three passions? My three passions are bikes, coffee, and wine. And we thought about wine, but we figured we drink the profits. So that was out. We thought about doing importing bicycle frames because I knew a number of manufacturers in Europe through my many contacts, but decided that was going to be more about building somebody else's brand instead of our own.
Sure.
And then we landed on the coffee. Because if you were to take a Venn diagram of an outdoor enthusiast and caffeine addiction, it would be a perfect circle.
Really?
Bike rides, they start at coffee shops, they stop for a rest at the coffee shops, and they finish at coffee shops. So it's
coffee.
It's coffee.
Coffee consumers.
Just a matter of figuring out how to make that work. And again, because of my years, we started working on a business plan, and both of us had done enough startups that we understood how to do that, and refined our business plan by talking to a number of the bicycle shops that were potential customers for us, and they helped us to fine tune it. And so in 2005, we got our roasters. So we've now been in business for over 20 years.
Oh, do you mean Kinetic Coffee?
Yes, we mean Kinetic Coffee, roasted here in Humboldt.
I finally figured out just now, and I'm a slow learner. I'm from Iowa, so we're sometimes slow. That is a bicycle sprocket. Yes. With a coffee kicker.
It is a cog.
It is a cog. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I get it.
And the tie-in for the Kinetic is, as you know, last week was the Kinetic Sculpture Race. Right. Charlie and I raced in that a number of times. Charlie was actually the executive director of the race.
Oh, really?
Back in the early 2000s.
Wow.
And she originally started the Kinetic Coffee as a fundraising coffee for the Kinetic Sculpture Race.
Oh, wow.
But it was roasted by another company. And when we decided to create our own company, we took that basically back from them and started it ourselves.
Wow.
So that's how the Kinetic name came out of the Kinetic Coffee.
That's cool. Yeah, Kinetic Sculpture Race, 85th annual last weekend.
Yeah,
it couldn't be that many.
I don't think it is quite that many. I think they started in 1969, so they're still young.
Yeah, they're still happening. That was a big race this weekend.
Yeah, I heard. I unfortunately wasn't here.
Yeah, we were in Medford and you were in Virginia Beach.
Yes, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Yeah.
So let's go back to let's bring you back to LA. So what part of LA were you from? And
I grew up in Long Beach and Lakewood, graduated from Lakewood High School.
Okay.
small school. Our graduating class was just over 1,500.
Wow, that's really dinky.
Yeah, small. Yeah,
that's a big school.
Easy to get lost. Yeah, and it was a 3-year school.
Ours is a big school. I think we had 800 or 900 Sweetwater High in San Diego.
All right,
back in the day.
Yeah.
So did you go to college after that?
I did very little college. I took one course in business development, and unfortunately, circumstances were that I had to spend my time working to support myself instead of going to school. So I graduated with BA and BS at the School of Hard Knocks.
I know that school really well.
Yeah.
I was like, I did very little college, just like drugs. I did very little drugs back then.
Right.
I tried to stay away from it. I didn't.
It didn't really work for me.
I did inhale.
Yeah.
That's good. Good for you. Yeah, I inhaled at Humboldt State, not Cal Poly, but recreation administration, another story for another time. Yeah, Yakima Rex. So you came up to Humboldt and worked for Yakima.
Yeah.
I actually, when I was at Humboldt, I stayed and lived at Steve Cole's house, one of the founders.
Steve Cole.
The glorious founder.
Indeed.
Yeah. Great, what a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lovely guy, and Janet back in the day. And now there's a guy that would grind 6 days a week and do 12-hour days.
Oh, yeah.
Ride his bike to work in the rain and lived it, until,
lived and breathed it.
Yeah, until they found the product and then sold the whole damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
So did you guys know Dan Gunderson that worked for Yakima?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good friend.
Good.
Cheryl's a good friend.
Yeah.
He was a good friend of ours. What a great guy.
Yeah.
Yes. So Humboldt County, I was told today in a radio interview, there's the 7 layers of Kevin Bacon. We're like the 2 to 3 layers in Humboldt County.
Yeah.
So if you know somebody that I know somebody, then we know each other, and then we kind of know each other.
I know what you know. You know
what I mean?
I do.
Okay, good.
I see what you're saying.
This is going to get more and more fun. if you're just joining us, folks, this is my new best friend, Mark Ritz from Kinetic Coffee, and want to learn all about your and Charlie's involvement, both getting married and then all the community stuff you've done, and then the Kevin Ebert Foundation, and we are getting there. So, there it is. There's the logo. So you started the coffee company, and then what? I know she worked for Los Bagels for a minute, right?
Well, actually, she worked for them twice because she was their first bookkeeper.
Oh, wow.
Way back in the day.
That's a way back time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is she more local here than you would be at 99?
Yes. She moved up here in the early 80s. I would say 81, as I remember. That's
about when she was born because she's so young.
I know.
Yeah.
But
us old bald guys,
we don't age, though. We just stay old to begin with and just stay there.
Interesting. Yeah. It's advanced maturity.
Yeah.
And you just stay there. I'm going to look this way when I'm 90.
Probably.
I don't know.
As will I.
I'm still 27 on the inside.
Oh, no, I'm still 16.
Yeah.
I may be getting older, but I refuse to grow up.
Yeah. When I'm watching Family Guy or South Park or something, I'm 12.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, Joni really hates when I turn on Dumb and Dumber. One of those kind of movies, like really.
That one then goes over the edge for me.
There's a couple, then I'm 11, but anyway. So going back to Yakima, so you guys met at in the heyday, right? As it was really launching.
Yeah.
You got Don Benjucci and Steve.
Well, actually, Don had already left at that point.
Okay.
It was Duncan Robbins was the head of the company at that time, and we, as I said, they were getting ready. They didn't really say this, but they were positioning for sale. And so I was hired to create new businesses for the company to branch out and expand their portfolio. Okay. So there's not just the bike racks and the ski mounts and cargo boxes and things like that, but we brought out a line of child carriers, trailers and tag-along bikes and the child backpacks.
Okay.
And then also a line of snowshoes.
Wow.
A complete line of snowshoes. Everything from beginners to an advanced.
That's a whole another level of accessories.
Yeah.
To go along with the rack.
But all leveraging the same techniques and abilities that the company already had. So the strengths were there already. This was just a case of finding other uses for that same thing.
Gotcha.
And trying to be a little bit counter seasonal as well.
Mm-hmm. I have a Yakima rack that's a little problematic. Could you look at it real quick outside?
Sure, let's go.
We bought one up in Oregon, and it somehow maybe it's the user error, but the hinges don't quite work as well as we thought they might.
Hmm.
But anyway, a tech question for another day.
When was the last time you lubricated the hinges?
I was just going to ask myself that. It's been a minute. So tell us about how's the coffee business doing?
The coffee business it's doing well. It's challenging right now.
Oh yeah.
Between record high prices for the raw beans and the threat of tariffs,
right,
for the first time since the 1700s when it comes to coffee, it's a challenging environment right now.
Yeah, I know the Dick Taylor guys are having cocoa bean issues.
Same issues, yeah.
Same kind of
we
issues.
have no, and you can't grow either one of those items commercially in the United States other than in Hawaii or Puerto Rico because they only grow in the tropics.
Interesting. And Hawaii coffee's got to be outrageously spendy.
Extremely expensive.
How about Puerto Rican coffee?
I haven't tasted any. I couldn't tell you what it's like. I haven't heard of any that we would use anyway because we do nothing but certified organic coffees.
Gotcha.
We feel that is really, really important because coffee, because it's grown in the tropics, tends to be one of the most sprayed products.
Yeah.
That we absorb, that we drink or eat.
Yeah. So you're 100% organic?
100% certified organic.
Wow.
So they can't just say, well, we grow it naturally. No, sorry, that doesn't work. I need to see your certifications.
I had a guest that was talking about this one particular coffee that is totally organic, something sparrow, whatever. If I should ask the question, I should know what I'm asking before I ask it. So why do you like Humboldt? Why have you stayed?
So many things. First off, the people. I think the people here are real. You know, growing up in LA and that area is, you know, and even in living in the Bay Area it was different in that respect. People here are more true to themselves, I think. Second, I absolutely love the geography, the topography. You can do so many things here. I mean, we live here live in Arcata, and we can in a quarter mile be in a forest.
Right.
And we go hiking up there all the time. It's a way to disconnect really quickly from the rest of the world.
Yeah, my wife enjoys that. She hiked there today. You and I met at the Kevin Ebert Memorial Walk with Hellsport, or whatever they call it with Hellsport.
The run, yeah.
Yeah. I remember distinctly walking.
I did too. Yeah.
You and I were walking that day.
Yeah, I think that was after one of my surgeries.
That wasn't too far after one of my hip surgeries either, now that I think about it. I had one hip surgery. That was, is challenging, the elevation, but that's all part of the healing, I guess. So tell us about, so wine, bikes, and coffee.
Yeah.
So you're a bike guy. So this would be home of bicycle heaven for you too as well.
Oh, it is. It's wonderful.
Did you see the paved trail on the way?
I did. I can't wait for it to be finished.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's exciting.
I'm going to use my map prop. Please bear with me.
Okay.
You know what Nick does not provide me? Nick is a pointer. I'm going to bring a pointer.
You need a laser.
I should. So there's my pointer. So around Humboldt Bay over there from Arcata to Eureka, which is in California, is this brand new Bay Trail that is so bomb. It's on an old rail bed that they've converted, and they're putting the final layers of asphalt as we speak.
Yep.
As we're sitting here now, with a I think a date of June 28th to
correct. That's the ground. Yeah, the groundbreaking.
I think people are abandoning it in the meantime, getting on there and just cheating. And I don't see a lot of people. Early morning, you might see a few people, but I'm wondering if people are just going to go, hey, a cone, a orange cone is going to stop this.
They've been doing it for quite a while. I have many friends on Strava.
That are already putting butts.
They're already putting on, there's already like the local legend is, I won't say because they're not supposed to be on there. But anyway, yeah.
Oh, Bill? No. You mean?
You weren't supposed to say it.
I don't know who it is. I just made that up. But if it was you, Bill, come on. Come on, man.
Bill, what are we going to do with you?
Yeah, it's funny. my wife can't wait because Joni's a runner, walker, hiker, biker, and she's just salivating, and me too. And I want to get on because we live in McKinleyville, so we can drop down from Dow's Prairie to the Hammond Trail.
Yep.
Hammond Trail. Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I've been on it.
Hammond Bridge.
I've been on it.
Hammond, Indiana.
Never been there.
Neither have I.
I've heard of some Scott Hammond.
Yeah, it's. I get the question. Hey, did you own Hammond Lumber? I go, yeah. I'm just a jillionaire. I do this for fun. Right. I just kind of hang out.
It's like me with Ritz crackers.
Yeah, it's Ritz.
Or the Ritz-Carlton.
Or the Ritz. Oh yeah, that's right. Putting on the Ritz.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, or me with Hammond eggs. Now we're reaching. So
now you're really stretching it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll stop that. Yeah. Jody gets quite mad. We'll be somewhere, and I go, yeah. That'll Hammond. We were the biggest redwood holder in the world in the day, and then they did a monopoly buster and broke us up. And great grandpa Jedediah Hammond was pretty pissed off that day. and here goes the story. And I'm watching my wife just go, just don't, no, just please. Anyway.
Just stop.
So yeah, bicycling. So it's going to be fun. So we're going to drop into the Hammond Trail, go all the way to the nuke plant and back.
Yeah.
And I can do it on my e-bike because I have advanced maturity. And my son goes, why even bother? I go, hey, you still get a workout. You still pedal. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going hardcore, nor do I need to, but it's going to be a fun trail.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And I think that'll be a new fun thing.
And I think it's going to also help just get more people off of 101 because you'll be able to commute between Eureka and Arcata on a safe trail.
Yeah. I thought you were saying it's going to get more people off their backside.
Yes.
Off that 101.
That was the unsaid portion of that.
It'll get you moving, folks. No, it can't be a bad thing. I think it's going to be cool. And they say that outbound piece on the outside of the other lumber company, the old Simpson, is supposed to be very, very gorgeous where you go off 101, but it goes onto the bay.
Yeah.
Joni said how does she know this? I don't know. She said her and her friend were out there, and it's just a glorious part of the trail experience.
Nice.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. So bikes and coffee I know about. Tell me about your passion for wine.
I have been a wine aficionado for many, many years. Don't know a lot about it. I have some friends who are vintners. And I've been able to see firsthand, the process. And it's, again, kind of like coffee roasting. There's a little bit of science and black art to creating the proper balance of the product. And in fact, a few months ago, we were at a friend's house who is also an avid wine enthusiast. And he belongs to a wine club where they send out small samplers of 4 or 5 different wines that we can then blend and create our own blend.
That's pretty rad.
And we had, I think, 8 or 9 people there, and we all did a competitive tasting, a blind tasting afterwards.
Of your individual blends?
Yeah.
That you recorded carefully?
Yeah, absolutely. And some were really good, and some were not quite.
That was wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Actually, that's next level hardcore, by the way, just for the record. I know that you love wine now. We did a tasting. Do you know Pam Long? She's
no, I don't.
She used to work out at Fieldbrook Winery, and she does tastings. Anyway, so this is, I think a year or two ago, we did a Zoom class with all these other people, and she said, bring 2 bottles of wine, one from this district and one from this, the wine map.
The appellations.
Yeah, correct. And so we had a Lodi gnarly head, and it was really gnarly.
A Zin.
It was, I think it was a Zin. And then we had this other wine that was really killer from, Sonoma or somewhere. And we were, compare and contrast. And the Zin came out, and there was 6 or 8 of us, and everybody took a sip of this, and the gnarly head, and oh my God, it's so bad. I don't know if it was bad wine or if it was bad wine.
Yeah.
And so that went down the sink right away, and we resumed into whatever Appellation Temecula is.
I think it's actually Temecula. I don't remember exactly what it's called.
Quite good. It was.
I remember when I used to go to Temecula again when I lived in Southern California.
Right.
And the wineries down there at that point were mediocre, would be a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Pedestrian might be another way.
That's a good word.
And I think that they've come up quite a ways. I haven't had anything recently from there.
These are quite good. Really dark raisiny, Zin something pretty delicious. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to contrast and to kind of discover. And Joni and I, we really like to go to Geyserville and down in that way. And it's fun. I think wine's a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah.
You know,
I used to ride around the Alexander Valley.
Yeah.
A lot. And Charlie and I took our tandem there one year.
Oh, that'd be fun.
With a trailer on the back.
Huh.
And so that way we could, when we stopped at each of the wineries, if we found something we really liked, we could just grab it and
that's a good idea.
Put it in the trailer.
Go figure.
Yeah.
And ride on home.
And right on to the next one.
Yeah, there's a lot of next ones.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, that's the dream. We really like Geyserville. Geyserville's a fun little town. Catelli's Italian food is just like a magical and fun experience. So yeah, so you're a wine guy. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk after the show. If you're just joining me, by the way, speaking of the show, Scott Hammond with 100% Humboldt with my new best friend, Mark Ritz. And tell us about Humboldt a little bit more, and then we'll talk about Kevin for a minute.
Okay.
What do you see as our strengths, our issues? What do you, when you sit back from where you live and look at stuff and you go, hey, wow, what do you, you told me what you love, but what do you see maybe as some of our things that we want to work on?
I think sometimes we are a little bit too insular. You know, being behind the redwood curtain can be both liberating and stifling. And I feel very fortunate in that I have been able to spend a lot of time traveling. I've traveled to places at my last job, I used to go to Europe or to Asia. Spent time, 2 weeks at a time in Hong Kong and China and Taiwan. So I got to spend a lot of time there and understand a lot more of the cultures there. And then Charlie and I have also visited, spent time in Europe and Asia and and South America. So we've had an opportunity to go a lot of different places. We always love coming back here.
Right.
I mean, it always feels, this is a place that feels like home.
Yeah. Yeah. And the air is always somewhat more magical here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question about it.
They said it's the benchmark. Trinidad somewhere up that way is the benchmark of quality air in America. Go figure. I don't know what that means. I don't know who said that and where I could reference that, but I tend to believe that's true.
We could Google it.
Yeah. Hey, let's do it. Wait, let's go fix my Yakima rack first.
Oh yeah, we got to do that first. Sorry.
All right.
Yep.
No, in fact, Trinidad is our date night for our Joni and my wine night. So we'll take a Dick Taylor bar, a great bottle of Jackson Keys or whatever we have on hand, and we'll drive up Scenic Drive, where one probably could have used to rode a bike, and now so don't go there. It's horrible. You'll hate it.
It's terrible.
But it's the magical place to just sit on the cliffs, and we have a routine and then a couple of picnic chairs and a table, and we pop up with the van and
watch the sunset.
It's amazing.
Or watch the fog.
I've been in pitch black in snow. And it's still a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just good. And during COVID, it was a 5-minute drive from our home up in Dow's Prairie. So you could go up there and, oh, weird. Look, Joni, no one's here at the beach. How weird and cool. And just park it there and watch the Pacific sun do its magic. And some days are really roasting 64 up there.
Right.
So when the sun hits, it refracts, in the 70s. The corollary is when it goes down, you have to zip up and it's 22 degrees again.
Right. Well, typical Humboldt, you always have layers.
Got to have the layers.
Yep.
Speaking of travel, though, I think, Joni and I finally got to go to Europe. We have a son in Amsterdam. And Utrecht, which is south of Amsterdam, it's a really cool college town, and there is great value in travel and getting to know and experience other culture, other beer, other trains, other hotels, and other languages, the Grouchy Dutch, the Albert Heinz supermarket. It's all the coffees that are this big. Would you? Can I get a cup of coffee? Yeah, sure. Here's a cappuccino, $3.
Right.
And
€3.
€3. Everything's $3. But not too shabby coffee generally. But yeah, just that you're right about that experience, that shared experience of travel, and then the joy of coming home.
Yeah.
And the quality of our 9 kids when they travel and come back, they go, man, the air here this is what I remember, Dad. I go, wow, the air.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Let me get a hit. It's like, oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
Take a deep draught of air. Anyway, more on that later. So you think we're insular? Okay. I buy that. Kind of not in my backyard type of stuff sometimes. Yeah. To a fault. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And without the bigger picture and of knowing that we need jobs and healthcare and homeless issues and
all the
housing.
Yep. All the things, so many things that we could improve, but it's also each one of those takes money and effort.
Yeah. And you guys have done that through business and involvement. Tell me a little bit about a couple, 3 things that you and Charlie have done. And then we're getting to Kevin here in a second. In terms of what it says here that you guys spearheaded a few things over the years. It wasn't clear, but tell me more.
Well, the first thing is that both of us we're both working as advisors for the Small Business Development Center.
Oh, cool.
Over in Arcata. In fact, I gave a talk on marketing last night for the Fortuna Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, cool.
So that's a great thing. I love the entrepreneurial spirit of so many of the people here. We have so many businesses that get started here, and so many of them have grown and moved into bigger and better things.
Sure.
So it's always fun to get in at the ground floor and help these people to find their footing.
Throw out some names. Who comes to mind when you say that?
As far as who's gotten
entrepreneurs. I mean, you can't say Yakima. Can't say Haliashi. Oops.
Or Dick Taylor. Oops.
Oops. Yeah.
Or Wing Inflatables.
Sure.
Or there's quite a. I'm trying. My mind is blanking on others, but
I think of all the food works and the people in the food business.
Jessica Curl. There's another one.
Yep. Jess, and bless her. That's. Or what was the other guy? Lacey's the cookies,
right? Yeah, Lacey's. Right.
And Matthew, who had the tofu shop, he's retired, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Here's the kind of guy I am. I hadn't seen him in 30 years. He's at the co-op. It's before church. We're having our morning soup before church at the co-op. I see him come. He's in line, and I walked up and I said, "I want to thank you for 40 plus years of excellent tofu, and thank you for your kind of a thank you for your service." And we had a cool moment. It was really neat to acknowledge somebody's life work.
Yeah.
Just in a small...
And I'm sure he appreciated it too.
Oh, he teared up.
Yeah.
I watched him, and it was like, oh, my dad always said the small acts of kindness and words of kindness can really go a long way. They cost you nothing, but when they're spoken with sincerity, they're magical. Yeah. Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. So, a lot of incubated entrepreneurial things have come. They said if you could survive here, you could survive anywhere.
Right.
And if you thrive here, that must mean something really cool.
Yeah. You're doing something right.
Yeah. Yeah. Not easy to make it. With $6 a gallon, and I saw it for $2.84 in Medford. That's what I pulled my hair out.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
Look at that. Wow.
Wait, I almost got it all.
Yeah. Almost. I, on the other hand, have gotten most of it as well.
You did very well there.
Yeah.
So other things that you see that you guys have done to make a positive difference and in or out of business?
Well, in business, we've been members of the Arcata Chamber of Commerce since we started the company. I am currently the vice chair of the Arcata Chamber of Commerce, the board, actually on my 3rd term there now because I did 2 terms early on, 2006 through 12, and then I came back on the board last year again.
How long's the term?
3 years.
Wow, good for you.
So I'm coming up on my 9th year.
Great chamber.
It is. I really enjoy working with those people. And again, it's doing what I can to help the local community. And then, of course, we have we donate a lot of product to a lot of events and fundraisers especially.
Sure.
So we do that. We do things like the Arcata Farmers Market with the chamber. We do a morning walkabout before the farmers market opens.
Wow.
Giving out Los Bagels, treats, and Kinetic Coffee.
Wow. To
all of the vendors there.
Good for you guys.
As our way of thanking them. We started doing that 15 years ago.
I bet they love that.
They do.
Because where's my there's my bagel.
There's my coffee. There's my bagel. There's my empanada.
Oh, better yet.
Yeah.
That's a really cool arrangement.
Yeah.
So Charlie still has that relationship with Dennis and
oh yeah.
Okay.
I think she's still on their board as well.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she took them to next level at some point, right?
Right.
In her tenure there.
Yeah. She has so much business experience, especially doing turnarounds and scale ups and succession plans and things like that.
Wow.
So,
wow.
I think it's one of the reasons that we've done so well at the coffee company is she has her strengths and I have my strengths. And between the two of us, I think we make a really, really strong team.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I think that's tracks in every way. The joke, which is no joke, is you and I married up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Who's smart here? We're
indeed.
The ball unite. Yeah, no, my dad used to say, Joni's great. I go, what about me? And he'd go, I don't know. He'd make a face. He'd go, you were smart enough to marry Joni.
There you go.
I go, thank you, sort of, Dad.
Thank you for that vote of confidence.
Yeah, I feel really good about this conversation now. Shit. So tell us the Kevin Ebert story.
Well, Kevin is or was Charlie's son, and he grew up in Arcata, graduated from Arcata High, went off to UC Santa Cruz, where he graduated with a double major in music composition with honors, first honors they'd ever had at that college for music.
Wow.
And with a minor in mathematics. His dad was a Navy SEAL, as was his uncle.
Wow.
Both his dad was during the Vietnam era. And I think after his dad passed away, not long after he graduated from college, he made the decision that he turned down a couple of scholarships to get advanced studies for music and decided to become a SEAL.
Wow.
And his mom did her best to dissuade him. But she said, he told her, and this was a funny little thing because said, you always told me that I should never live with regrets. And if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it.
This is Kevin's dad.
This is Kevin.
This is Kevin.
To his mom.
Right. Using her logic.
Exactly.
Smart kid.
Yeah. So he enlisted. Because he had a college degree, he could have gone in as an officer, but he wanted to become an operator. He wanted to be in the trenches. So he came in as an enlisted man, went through basic training, went to Buds, and
where's Buds?
Buds is at Coronado.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the basic underwater demolition training.
Yeah,
basically the legendary Hell Week that they have to go through.
It's the one that's infamous and famous.
Yes,
is that the bell? If you ring the bell, you tap out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no one wants to ring the bell.
No.
So it took him 3 tries. He rolled twice during Hell Week, but finally made it. And then made the decision that in addition to becoming a SEAL, he decided that he really wanted to become a corpsman, a medic.
Wow.
So he went to the 18 Delta training, which is, as I recall correctly, is at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and became a corpsman, and he was really good at it.
Wow.
So he went through 2 deployments in Afghanistan, and we didn't find it out until later that there were a number of men whose lives he saved.
Wow.
In combat.
Nice.
And he was considered an exemplary SEAL. He was the guy who always had everything buttoned up and was like right on it. Towards the end of his second deployment, he got permission for an early out. He was going to come back home and actually had been accepted to Old Dominion University to finish his medical degree.
Wow. Where's that?
That's in Virginia. And he and his wife, he had married a local girl here in December of 2011. Yeah, actually, I think New Year's Eve.
Wow.
And then, so we had, we were in Phoenix, Arizona, where a lot of the Eberts lived at the time. And unfortunately, we got the call that nobody wants to get. That is, that he had been killed. And he had been leading an element. They had some inadequate information as far as what to expect, and they got pinned down. And he was the leader of the element, but he was also the comms guy. So he, in order to get any help, he had to step out from behind cover in order to get the radio to work. Wow! And was unfortunately killed.
Rats.
And it wasn't until we went to his memorial service in Virginia Beach that we heard about all these people, these guys coming up to him and saying, you know, your son saved my life. Wow. Your son saved my brother's life. You know, all of these people that were just in awe of what he was able to accomplish. When we were in Virginia Beach this last week, we were at the change of command for SEAL Team 4, which is where he was. And they were they decided to start a new tradition there at this particular one, and that was that they would award an honor to one SEAL that would be voted on by his peers, nominated and voted on. The officers have nothing to do with it. It's operator to operator, and it's named after him. Wow! So it's the Kevin Ebert Award.
Can he win it?
No,
he can't.
No, you have to be alive.
Got to be okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's pretty rad.
Yeah, we were really proud and
sure
and sad at the same time.
It's an interesting bucket to hold.
It is a very hard bucket to hold sometimes.
The bucket of joy with grief, and brokenness. Yeah,
yeah.
I love it. I think it tells me a lot. What I really like, and I could envision, is people that would wanted to have said thank you to Kevin, but you're going to have to do.
Yeah, and
it's beautiful, and to be able to go, hey, I knew this guy, and you're going, wow, and here it comes again.
Yeah.
You know, and I can imagine all the tears, and, you know, like Gandalf said at the end of the movie, not all tears are evil.
Right.
You know, and it's I love the beauty of that. So tell me about the foundation locally and what you guys do around it and that, and how that works. And if we have I want you to definitely give a shout out to the website and all the things. So if somebody wanted to donate, they could, and how that all works.
Okay. Well, the foundation was started by Charlie, Kevin's stepsister, and myself. And it's KevinEbertFoundation.org.
Can you turn the logo? Oh, there it is. Oh, hey, look at it. There it is.
And we wanted to create something to build on his legacy. And we had our first, we only started this thing about 2 years ago. And last year we had our first annual, hoping it's going to be annual, golf tournament.
Yeah.
And we raised $10,000 for We Are Up. Are you familiar with We Are Up?
Yeah, Mary Keene.
Yep.
The We Are Up ranch.
That is absolutely something he would have been all over. That is just right in his ballywick.
I love it.
And so we are having our second annual one this August 8th.
Mm-hmm.
We are looking for sponsors. Mm-hmm. We're looking for donors.
Okay.
We're looking for players.
Hey.
And also volunteers. Anything to make us,
Could one do all four?
We can work that out. If you want to do that, Scott, we'll sign you up.
I'm going to be in Europe, unfortunately. Wait. Yes. No, I may be back.
August 8th is a Friday.
It's a Friday. I think we're back Wednesday the 6th.
Okay. Well, you could make it then. Okay.
Pressure's on, Scott.
Let's get that set up.
So you could play, and then you could come back and volunteer for the after party.
Yeah. Since we'll have a raffle,
mm-hmm.
Silent auction.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be awards for the play.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be at least right now. I think we have at least 2, if not more, of his teammates that are going to be there.
Oh wow, that would be cool.
So
are they still active?
A couple I know are still active, and a couple are out
mm-hmm.
and doing other things and doing great things.
These are quality people, I would imagine, almost to the person.
It takes a special kind of person to be able to make it to SEALs.
Is there a female Navy SEAL in existence?
Not at this time that I'm aware of. I know that they've opened it to them, but I don't know if they can make it through the physical efforts that are required.
Gotcha. Fair enough. And I don't know if that's true for Green Beret or otherwise, but not the point. Yeah, I just, doing Humboldt Heroes now for 9 years, and
mm-hmm.
the folks that we've met have just been top drawer quality, wonderful men and women that have served. And somebody said thanks on a Friday afternoon at noon. And there were tears of joy and laughter, and it's just, and you guys reported that with us. And,
mm-hmm.
Just it's such a cool cadre of people to be with and to enjoy life with.
And to realize that post-Vietnam, anybody who's serving in the military is doing it voluntarily.
Mm.
They're not doing it because they have to. They're doing it because they want to.
Yeah. Good difference. Yeah. Good point. So the golf tournament, I remember last year,
mm-hmm.
you guys had some real quality stuff, dude.
Yeah.
The after prize of the golf is usually a sleeve of balls and a Frisbee and, a glove or, something. But you had really cool bike helmets and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we had a lot of people stepped up. I leaned on a lot of my old friends
I think you did.
in the industry to help us. And I'm hoping that they're going to step up again this year.
Hey.
So
I see it happen. I see it happening. And we'd like to be part if we can some way. It was fun. I'd like to play Baywood. Baywood's the one. Hey, Baywood's right here on our map, by the way. It's over there east of Arcata.
It's over in that area.
Yeah, over right there. That way. Yeah. So my father golfed around the world. He was a World War II vet and great guy. And he died in 2004. But when he would come up here, he loved to, worship with the kids, ice cream with the kids, and golf with this kid.
Nice.
And Baywood, he goes, I've golfed around the world, dude. And he goes, Baywood is magic. He goes, there's nothing like golfing in the redwoods. And he was really taken with it. And quick story. So great guy, total AA guy since I was 13. Got sober, stayed sober 40 years before he died. And so we're up at the Chamber of Commerce. Arcata Chamber used to do a wonderful golf tournament there annually. And there were 15 or 20 prizes. We won 8 of them.
Wow.
I don't think he bought that many tickets. The fix was in, baby. And the story was he walks up and wins a half gallon of George Dickel whiskey. And I go, wow, Dad, what are you going to do with that, bro? So it was funny. We went up, after a while you start to get booed as you do the walk of shame because obviously you're a terrible person winning a raffle.
First time is great. Second time people go, okay. Third time the crowd turns on you.
Yeah, you get the snake eye and then some. Yeah. Some hand signals.
8?
Yeah, it was weird.
Oh my God.
I've never seen anything like it. It's strange. So if we want to get involved with the golf tournament, how do we do that?
You can do that through the website.
Okay.
KevinEbertFoundation.org.
Okay.
And there's a sign-up sheet there, and you can also contact either myself or Charlie directly as well.
At Kinetic Coffee.
At Kinetic Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you could be reached through the business line.
Yes.
Gotcha. So prizes, come and golf, come and volunteer.
Yep.
Yeah.
We would love to have you and everybody else that's listening to this.
Yeah. We're doing Humboldt Heroes tomorrow. Maybe come by and talk to the MVets.
If I get time to, I will. Yes.
Yeah, or I'll mention
I know that we're already talking to them.
Yeah.
Because we had a couple of AMVETs out this last week. We have the highway cleanup.
Right.
And we had a couple of them out there with us.
You did really good with that. I saw that. That was really present that you got, and it looks great.
Thanks.
Who was it? Like Mark Nelson or Pierre?
Yes, it was Mark. Mark and his wife.
I'm going to tell you a scoop right now. Secret.
Okay.
I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you. But so I'm going to tell you, but I won't kill you.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
I think Charlie would appreciate that too.
It's there'd be too much evidence.
Yes.
So if I told you, I'd have to kill you, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So Mark Nelson is our hero tomorrow, but it's a secret.
Wow.
And fortunately, this is not live. This will air well after he's the hero, but he's such a cool guy, and he comes and he helps set up for Humboldt Heroes every week, every month, and he helps out, and he's just gracious, and we're just hoping he doesn't see it coming.
That's good. I love that.
Carrie Jo, my assistant that helps me with this, she goes, I kind of hope he knows a little bit because I think he might cry. And I go,
nothing wrong with that.
That'd be great. I hope he cries a lot. That'd be wonderful. So, so tell us more about Kevin. So he was a musician.
Yes, very talented musician. Played keyboards and guitar. I used to love when I would come home from the roastery when he was home visiting, and he'd be downstairs with the piano just playing and just going over just the same piece of music over and over and over until he got it to where he was where it wanted to be. And then also, like I said, a very talented guitarist as well. And I was a musician back in my day. Yeah, so he and I we had a lot of musical theory conversations.
That's cool.
And talked about obscure groups that and obscure music is
Captain Beefheart
and his magic band. Yeah,
up in Trinidad.
Right. Yep.
They actually had him on SNL. I don't know how he got
really.
Somebody booked him, and they had it in the SNL archives that they were showing for the 50th.
Oh wow!
And he was terrible. And the commentators were going, I don't even know how they got this guy booked, because he just got up there. And I don't know his music well. I just know he was local. He's passed, right?
Yes.
And he got it, just kind of screamed a song, and it was just, and the band was like grinding, and it was like this whole precursor to grunge of some sort.
Yeah.
And an interesting guy, but the guy that booked him, I guess, got a little bit of heat because he was just an oddball. Nobody knew who this guy was, and that's SNL books guys like that.
Yeah.
And so that's how that goes.
It was like Frank Zappa, playing the bicycle on
right.
Is that on Johnny Carson?
He did something weird, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an interesting dude a lot now on social media, and all his antisocial, crazy political talk, which makes perfect sense now.
Yeah.
And they said that when the Who and the Stones and the Beatles would come to LA, they'd always go and visit Frank. Never knew that. He was actually that kind of an intellect of, charismatic.
If you ever saw his testimony in Congress.
What's that?
The same around the anti-obscenity.
Oh, right.
That was pretty amazing. I mean, he's an extremely articulate person.
Pretty bright dude.
Yeah.
Interesting. Another LA guy.
Yep.
So the golf tournament's coming up. Who are we raising money for this year?
It's going to continue to be for We Are Up this year.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm so all about it.
We love what Mary's doing.
Oh my gosh.
We want to succeed.
She's moving forward, and it looks like they're doing it with such class and confidence and competence, and to do things in California and make them legal and groovy, and maybe even possibly even please the neighbors around there.
Yeah.
Which is one of my pet peeves. After you've had a say-so and you're back to your objection. What was the word you used? Not in my backyard?
NIMBYism.
It's an NIMBY thing.
Yeah.
These guys have been over backwards to help the neighbors there. They're going to destroy their pristine view.
Right.
I don't think so.
No.
They're going to use 8 of 80 acres or something.
Right. It's a huge part of it's going to be left pristine.
So once you're heard at the meeting, just go sit down. You were heard. You got your fair shot. We're going to vote. and it's going to go the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And you win some and you lose some.
Right.
Is that curmudgeon of me to kind of say that?
No, I don't think so, because I think it's
a process.
It's a process that you go through, and it's part of the democratic process.
Correct.
Is you live with the consequences of the votes.
Correct.
Whether it's in your favor or not.
And we're doing that right now today.
Yeah. Very much so.
Very much so. And we'll get to do it again tomorrow, which is the cool thing about the system. Maybe we get to vote again. Yeah. Lord willing, and we take the time. Yeah. So anything else around the foundation that you guys do? So it's ongoing. You have ongoing this event and ongoing you receive donations.
Yes.
It's money funds it.
It is a 501(c)(3), so it's tax deductible.
Okay.
And and we're very transparent on our, as you have to be with the 501(c).
Sure.
One of the things we are looking at doing is actually expanding our use or our golf tournaments. A couple of the guys who are on our board, ex-SEALs, are saying, this is great. We love what we're doing here, that you're doing here with the local, but just imagine how much money we could raise if we had one in San Diego,
right,
or Virginia Beach, places or Los Angeles or wherever, and started doing some things where we could raise some money from national groups and really see what we can do with that money.
Get Coronado Base involved, and somebody that's vet friendly, course owner somewhere, La Costa. Who knows? I like that dream. That's a good dream.
I think it's great. I think again, it's going to just build on Kevin's legacy.
Kevin Ebert Foundation.org.
Correct. Yes.
Hey, come to that part of the show where we're going to give you a Dick Taylor bar because you're a cool guy, and well, maybe not. We won't give it to you. You got to earn it. And one of these really cool Scott Hammond State Farm files.
I've been needing one of those.
We're going to nail it. So hold still, because here comes the quiz. Okay, Mark Ritz, question one. You get to take Charlie to dinner anywhere in Humboldt. No, money is not an object. Where do you go? What do you eat? And what kind of wine are you pairing it with?
Probably Moonstone Grill.
Okay.
And personally, I'm a huge fan of a properly cooked steak, not well done steak, a properly cooked steak.
Okay. What does that mean? Well done? Medium?
No, medium rare.
Medium rare. Gotcha.
130 degrees.
Perfect.
No more, no less. With the right amount of char.
Okay.
I'm particular.
I could tell that. That's good. It should be with a steak.
I would pair that with a Cabernet, most likely. Preferably something that's more than 10 years old.
Napa, Sonoma.
I like Sonomas better myself.
Okay. What winery?
That's a tough one right now. When Charlie and I got married, between the two of us, we belonged to 20 different wine clubs.
Wow. That's expensive. You had a real habit going.
We did have a habit.
Either had a habit or a really big wine room.
Yeah. So, I honestly couldn't think of it right now. I couldn't think of it. There's so many good cabs out there.
1,000. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Question 2. You get to go on a bike ride or a hike. Where do you go? Get the day off.
Ideally, I would do something like Avenue of the Giants on my bike. I love that ride, especially if they could close the road for me.
Yeah. So even better.
Yeah, because then I wouldn't have to worry about all the RVs, the rental RVs. The
rental ones, yeah. So start in Shively and go all the way down to Benbow or back or whatever.
Yeah, spend the night in Benbow.
Benbow Inn's cool.
It is very cool. And maybe play around a golf.
Yeah.
And then come back and ride back.
Yeah, they have the golf course back up. Yeah. Notice that they let it go for a little while. But, okay, question 3. Have you had Phil's Coffee down in the Bay Area, PHILZ?
I have.
What is your favorite Phil's Coffee?
I didn't really enjoy it.
Oh, you didn't like it? Okay, cool. The pour over.
Yeah.
And they shook the cream.
I found, first off, I don't like all the additions to coffee. I'm a purist.
Do you drink it black?
I drink it black, or I drink straight espresso.
Oh, rad.
So
what coffees do you enjoy?
I like, my favorite coffees are usually medium or lighter roasts. I love Ethiopian coffees, like our 20th anniversary coffee that we have on the shelves right now.
Wow.
Is got this amazing berry front to it that's just wonderful. I also like Sumatrans coffees. They've got a really strong base to them. I'm always, one of the things that's fascinating to me is after 20 years of working in the coffee industry, I still feel like a beginner. There's always more stuff to learn on it.
That's cool.
It's fun.
That makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still curious and discovering and fun. Hey, Kinetic Coffee, can you flip your bottle around? Tell us how to get a hold of you and how to buy product and where we could find it, and if you needed more people to wholesale to, or how do we...
Well, if you're looking to put our coffees into to a restaurant or a coffee shop, just call the coffee company at 825-9417. That's 825-9417.
Yeah, 825 per bucket. You can spell that right.
Maybe.
That's an old radio commercial that was Anderson Robinson in Arcata.
Okay.
This is Steve Justice. 822 per bucket.
Per bucket?
Per bucket.
Okay.
That's the best I could do.
Okay. And for retail customers, our coffees are available at Murphy's, Wildberries, Co-ops, Safeway.
ENF.
Yep.
That's where we get ours.
All the locals.
So kineticcoffee.com?
Kinetic-coffee.com.
And they're K's.
And coffee with a K.
And Kinetic with a K.
And Kinetic with a K.
As it should be.
Although if you could put a C on the end and you could put a K on the end, it'd be really screwy up.
It really threw over.
That would just like... nobody's going to figure that one out.
It's like naming your kid a weird name.
Yeah.
Those poor kids.
Or a weird spelling.
The weird spelling. Kalia. How do you spell? Is it K-L-E-A-H-I? Yeah, it's like, we won't even go there.
No. We don't need to do that.
I don't know.
I like having a name like Mark. It's almost impossible
Scott
to
is
spell.
pretty easy to not screw up.
But mine's could be a C or a K. And yours could be one T or two.
It could be.
Because you could be a Scott.
Scott. You do a Scott. I heard you doing the Brogue earlier.
Yeah.
Hey, as we wind it up, what do you want your legacy to be? What are we going to say at your celebration of life?
Oh boy.
What would you, if you could?
We're getting close to that,
How do you
getting older?
We don't know.
We just don't know.
Jody's dad was great. He was a runner and an addict and a pharmacist and a marathoner, Boston qualified. He goes, he had all these pithy AA sayings. He said, Tom says, no one gets out of here alive.
It's true.
And he goes, never go into your head alone. It's a dangerous place.
It's a very dangerous place. I know this one really well.
Right.
I've traveled the nooks and crannies, and I wouldn't recommend it to most people.
I need a guide. One of the things he said, I think he copied it. He goes, any places within walking distance, if you have enough time.
True.
I go, okay, Tom, good one.
I would agree with that. I don't know. I just hope that people remember me as a person who was true to his values, and that I've done everything I can to leave the world a better place than it was when I started.
Amen.
I think that's about it.
Does it get any better than that? Oh, by the way, thanks for coming. You nailed it.
Oh, great.
Put that in your file.
I will.
And it's a Dick Taylor, 73% dark, Fleur de Sol.
Oh, very nice.
Man, these guys, you know those guys.
I do know them, yes.
Anyway, thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, what a pleasure. Yeah, I'm really honored. And thanks. And so one more time, call it the Kevin Ebert?
Yes, the Kevin Ebert Foundation.org.
Golf tournament is August
8th at Baywood.
Look for that in the socials, and then also Kinetic Coffee.
Kinetic-coffee.com.
Easy to find you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming. Hey, and thank you for tuning in to 100% Humboldt with your host, Scott Hammond. And we'll be back again. Find us on the socials, find us on YouTube, and like us. Maybe make a nice comment if you would. There's a prize in it for someone.
Nice comment, though. Only nice.
You could put a mean one. I don't care.
We know how those comments
we know you comment, guys. So, thanks for coming. And we'll see you again soon, 100% Humboldt. And thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.